Here, right, go on. What bus are we getting? The 6?
Yeah.
Okay, right, I'm gonna go get ready.
Okay.
Alright, bye. Bye. Sorry about that. So, I'm filming. Okay, there's people out the back there, over there, having a barbecue. It's literally, why are you having a barbecue? Go away with your barbecue. I'm making this video because I don't know why. I just do this. This is what I do, right? I feel shy, I sit down, I'm like, let's make a video. And now I'm here and I'm like, I remember what I was going to make it on. Okay. Therapy. I can't. Meeting with a new therapist. I'm meeting with a new therapist on Thursday. And yeah, I'm just gonna like feeling all sorts of ways about it. Also, so gassed from recording this now. I literally have to get ready, but like whatever. When I meet new therapists, I do this thing, right? I get so defensive. I meet them and they're like, hi, nice to meet you. And I'm like, hi. I'm like passive aggressive. I'm rude, full on obnoxious. But I tell them like, if I'm ringing up and I'm like, yo, can I have an appointment? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, cool. I'm like, I just want to let you know right now that I'm so standoffish when you first meet me. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, obviously when you get a therapist, you have to click. That's like obviously you're not gonna like connect with someone or take their advice properly or take what they say on board if you don't have like a little spark. Do you know what I mean? Here she is burping again. But like, I don't know why I get so what's the word, defensive. Like, I just can't let them, obviously I'm not gonna let them in first time. I'm gonna sit down and spill out everything, like, but do you know what I mean? I just get so rude and I get real like say they're going to ask me a lot of questions, like routine questions, kind of like same for GP or whatever, and you know them all already. So someone will be like, oh, can I ask you about, and I'll be like, oh, about this? And they'll be like, how did you know? And I'll be like, I know everything. I'm basically a licensed therapist, which I'm not at all, but you know, I just have been there for so long that I don't know. But yeah, I'm just kind of reflecting and being like, why do I do that? I mean, I've had a lot of, also, little fucking disclaimer, I've had a fucking load of shit therapists. I've had therapists, crosses arms, that's so weird, that body language is full on, like, no. I've had a load of therapists that have given me like really shitty advice, that have said awful things, who said really rude things to me. I've had things like, I said my mom ring them up and be like, are you for real? Like really, really stupid people that just shouldn't be therapists. So I think maybe that feeds into it. But yeah, so I'm trying to be, I think I'm making this video to be like, let's like reflect and like, do you know what I mean? So I think I just need to be more open when I meet this person. I'm going to be more like, okay, cool. I also think another thing to remember, this probably comes across now, I'm going to word it really badly, but like, people always tell me a lot of time, like, the therapist like works for you, do you get me? Like, not, do you know what I mean? So like, if the therapist is like saying shit you don't like, you can be like, no, like, let's move on, let's do this. Like, they're your therapist. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're their client also, but do you know what I mean? Like, you can actually be like, no, that's bullshit, and be like, I don't like that, I think you're stupid, or, well, okay, maybe don't say that, but you know what I mean? You can be like, no, not taking that advice, that's absolutely ridiculous, don't want that, can we talk about this, can we do this? Like, you can direct it and do it. Like, obviously they have to have some influence too, but I think that's a good thing to remember, because that therapist I've seen, I just take word for word everything that they say, like, excuse me, at like face value, and I'm like, okay, this, like, their word is gospel. And you know, you kind of need to remember, no, like, that's not. Also, I think knowing what type of therapy works for you, because I know some people, a lot of therapists now, they do a bit of everything. So they'll be like, oh, we're gonna do, we can't really do DBT, not in a group, but you know, some DBT stuff, we're gonna do some like psychology stuff, we're gonna do some CBT stuff. And I mean, I know for me personally, any doctor I've had or anything is always like, why do I mess up my face and head so much when I talk? It's so weird. Like, CBT like isn't for me and isn't really for the problems I have, so I think it's good to know that going into a new therapist. If someone's like, hey, we're going to try this, be like, look, hon, not to beat around the bush, but I'm paying you like 60 quid an hour, don't give me CBT, that's not really what I need, and I've tried it before, blah blah blah. Like, be open, but genuine, but no as well. I think what I'm going to try to do is like have a plan. I think I'm going to go in and be like, hey, what's up, how are we, this is what I want to work on, and just like set out a little thing. Oh yeah, I think it's really important. Say you're going for things that happened, I don't know, in fucking 2002. Do you know what I mean? I also think it's really important. I think it's too much to do the 2002 thing like every week for like 6. Do you get me? I think it's really important to even come in and be like, oh, this fucking cunt absolutely mugged me off on Tuesday, I need to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? To have present things going on as well. Because that's what they're there for as well. If someone's like, okay, we're going to do all this work today, I'm kind of like, oh, I had a bit of a bad day yesterday, can we just like, can I like unload this, do you know what I mean? So I think that's good. And also as well for me, I like doing work on like myself, if that makes sense. Like maybe not an issue or like something traumatic or like my mental illness, but just like sometimes I just love going in and being like, hey, I have like all these questions, like why do I do this, why am I like that? And I really like exploring like myself. Like I love analyze, like I'm a big overthinker though, which can be dangerous, but like I love analysing stuff and be like, oh yeah, like finding the root of something. And it's almost, I like finding the root of something because I find it easier to let go. Like I don't know, say if you one particular like mannerism or something and you do that all the time, and then someone might be, the therapist person might be like, oh, that's because of this thing that happened then and you're scared of this. And then sometimes I hear that and I'm just like, oh, that's all I needed to know. And then I don't do it anymore and I'm like, that's so nice that I know that's why I do that, and I can just let that leave now and I don't need that. Like, yeah, I don't know, these are, I think I'm honestly making this video for myself so I can watch it back and be like, dead right, Emma. Yeah, I want to be open, I want to like explore myself more and stuff that I do. And patterns are a big one for me. Looking into patterns and like recognizing shit before it like happens. I'm mad into patterns, like I do everything the same, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know, and I also think it's really important because for me like an hour appointment is never enough. And that's probably sounds so bad, people are like, oh my god, like can't do an hour. Like an hour is never long enough for me. Like I would love nothing more than for a therapist to give me a 1-for-all voucher for like a 6-hour sit down session, like which is not healthy for anyone and should never be done. I would fucking love that. Like I love, as much as I hate going to therapy, I love going to therapy, like I love it. So I'd actually love that. But for me an hour is like, okay, you get there, realistically 5, 6, 7 minutes is spent. Hi, how are you? It's so lovely out today, isn't it? Oh my god, yeah, did you get here alright? It's traffic. That's like 7 minutes gone. Then you've got to chew me up, putting down, taking the coat off, and do you know what I mean? And then by the time you get into it, sure, you're nearly near the 15-minute mark, so you've only actually got 45 minutes. And then do you even have 45 minutes? Because then they're like, oh, the hour's nearly up or the hour's done, and then the coat goes back on. I'll see you next week. And then you're planning your next appointment. And it's like, so you don't even actually have an hour. So I think it's a good idea for each time you go to have an idea of what you're going to cover, because that really like not annoys me, like that's just the natural flow of things. But I hate coming out with not wanting more, but having loads of shit more to ask. Like I love coming out and having all bases covered and being like, ah yeah, and going home being able to do the rest myself. I don't like going and then that's what you have, like, yeah, you have like 30 minutes of your appointment by the time they've done all their talking and you're just there like, oh, what, do you know what I mean? Plus you're travelling there for that whole thing and then to get like 30 minutes, it's like, what? So yeah, I don't know. Oh, also, yeah, don't take everything. I know I was saying earlier about how all their word is like gospel, blah, blah, blah. Also, I think it's important. I actually found this really with my last therapist, who I unfortunately had to stop working with because they were just really shit at timekeeping and didn't give me enough. I always think that, okay, this, I'm going back and forth, this is a good point. Yeah, my last therapist couldn't give me, it would constantly cancel on me, would constantly whatever, and I just don't do well with people cancel on me. I just, like, not like friends, but I like knowing what I'm doing in a kind of way. But really last minute, like I'd be getting ready to get into the car and they'd be like, oh, sorry, and I was like, are you fucking serious, in a kind of way? So, or I'd be looking forward to this slot of time in my week, like I said, have everything ready, whatever, be ready to kind of like unload, and then it would just be taken away from me and I'd be like, I was mentally prepared. And I just left her. I was like, I can't. My parents were saying, they were like, don't stay with her, blah blah. So I think that's important, because I think usually like the old Emma would have been like, oh, and I keep saying that, I was always like, oh, it's fine, I don't mind, it's fine. But I think it's important to be like, no, like this is what I want. Like I deserve to have an appointment every week, and if you're not going to give that to me, then I'm going to go see someone else. You know, kind of way. You need to, like, just because you click with someone, sometimes it's not enough for just to have that, you need to be like, okay, this isn't working out, and you need to see that clearly. What was the thing I was gonna say? Oh yeah, taking everything as gospel and being like, yeah, blah blah blah. I also think it's important not to. I'm really sensitive. Like, I take things so personally, like so personally. And I think in therapy it's really important not to do that, because as well, they're not like, they're your therapist. They're not exactly like your mate. Do you know what I mean? Even if it feels like that, which I'm not sure if it should or not. But if someone says something to you, it's like, this is why you do this, I'm always kind of like, did you just what? Like, I'm like, a bit rude like that you said that. But you know, I think coming from that type of person, you need to just take it and be like, okay, this is like, it's not an attack. Do you know what I mean? That's just for me personally, because I do that. But I think calling therapists out is really important if they give you like really shit advice or tell you something, or just like, ah, yeah, that's kind of brush something off or don't think something seriously. Not calling them out isn't, but just being like, hey, you actually didn't take that seriously, and that's a bit fucking rude. Like, this is my thing, this is what I want to say, like, talk to me about it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, new therapist. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Also think, one more thing. It's good if a therapist tells you you're not ready for something, don't fucking do it. Like, if you're like, okay, and you're like, I want to do the work on the 2002 thing, and they're like, not a hope one, don't be like, oh my god, I am ready. Like, fair, say that if you think about it, but if they're still like, you're really not, then you're not. Like, that's fair. Because I've done that before. Until I was class, I was like, I know what I'm about, like, but I didn't, like, so, yeah. This has been my TED Talk on therapists, coming from someone who isn't a therapist but who has been to therapy for years and years and years, so I'm kind of like, I feel like my opinion's valid. That sounds like such therapy to say, my opinion is valid. Also, if you're going to therapy, fair fucking play. Like, well done, because it's not easy. I'm also a fool. Oh, I do this way too often. So I go to therapy. I think, yeah, grand, whatever, it's like every other week, who cares? But obviously therapy is so unpredictable for me, because I prefer to do like 5 different topics in one appointment rather than just one, because I'm like, don't want to focus on one thing. So I'll make plans for like right after therapy. I'll be like, yeah, I'll be home, I'll have an hour to get ready, I'll go to town and I'll have pints, blah blah. And I get home and I'm like, I wish I was dead. Like, why did I say I'd have points? And then I feel worse, because I'm like, lads, I have to cancel the pints. And they're like, yeah, no worries. I'm like, therapy is just too hard. Like, it's fine. Then I feel worse, because I'm like, oh, I have to cancel on people and everyone hates me and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so maybe that's a tip. Don't make plans for after therapy. Or make a loose plan. I'm also never have the balls to say that I'm not going back. I'm I ghost therapists, like, I'm the worst. I'll be like, yeah, appointment, I'll cancel that appointment. They'll be like, hey, do you want to make another one next time? And I'll be like, and then I just don't. And they're like, Emma, like, just wondering. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'll definitely be there. Cancel that. Don't, like, I would never just not show up. I obviously like can't, but I'm just like, I can't. And I'm just like, I don't want to see you anymore, but I just can't tell them. Which is so rude. It's like, I can't break up with my therapist. Like, help, I can't break up with my therapist. New book by Emma Roach. Like, I just can't, because then I think, even if I do, the any times I have, I've been like, it's not you, it's me. Like, I just feel like we're not clicking. It's so rude to say to someone. Like, if someone just does shit that doesn't agree with you, then like, don't put up with it. Like, don't pay for it. You're paying every week by the hour. Don't fucking pay for that shit. Don't go in and be like, don't really like spirit animals, here's €60, let's figure out my spirit animal is today. Like, don't do that. That's not, yeah, you deserve better. Okay, I actually genuinely need to wrap this up. I keep saying that. I also firmly believe that everyone should go to therapy. You meet these people who are like, oh, like, I don't really have them. Like, all the more reason to fucking go to therapy. Everyone go to therapy. Also, reflecting is such a big thing. I hate the fucking word reflecting, but like, analysing, yeah, therapy's great, therapy's good. But I really do wish I could just cash in on a 6-hour therapy session. Like, that's a fucking dream. A therapy sleepover. Imagine. Just lie there and be like, why do I do this? That's what I'd love. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't know what the channel is either. Subscribe. I don't know. don't subscribe, give me a thumbs up, do something. I don't know. But yes, thank you for watching and goodbye.